This is not a protest site. This is not even a political rally. This is our Indian airports. And this chaos was caused by India's one of the largest airlines, IndiGo. Recently, thousands of IndiGo flights were cancelled. Lakhs of passengers were stranded. People slept on airport floors. Weddings were missed. Medical emergencies were delayed. For many travelers, Indian aviation looked completely broken. So the obvious question is, why did this crisis happen? What went wrong and what triggered it? To understand that, we need to look at a rule introduced for safety. The DGCA introduced Flight Duty Time Limitation Rules (FDTL). These rules were meant for two things: the safety of passengers and the health and alertness of pilots. Because no passenger wants the pilot fatigued inside the cockpit. At 35,000 feet, even a small lapse in attention can cause hundreds of lives. And this is not hypothetical. In 2010, Air India Express Flight 812 crashed in Mangalore. 158 out of 166 passengers died. The investigation revealed pilot fatigue as a key factor. Global research shows 23% of major aviation accidents are linked to fatigue. That is why these rules were introduced. Under the new FDTL rules, weekly rest was increased from 36 hours to 48 hours. Night landings were reduced from 6 to 2 and daily duty hours were capped at 8 hours. The logic was simple. Well-rested pilots means safer flights. And airlines were not forced to follow these rules overnight. They were given ample of time to prepare, time to hire pilots, time to redesign crew schedules. Other airlines started hiring, but IndiGo did not. Instead of preparing, IndiGo froze pilot recruitments. So when the rules finally came into effect, there weren't enough crew members available. Flights started getting delayed, then cancelled, and airports descended into chaos. This wasn't just mismanagement. This actually seemed like a calculated strategy. Create disruption, create pressure so that the regulator is forced to bend. And that is exactly what happened. On December 5, DGCA withdrew a crucial part of the rule. Leaves were allowed to be continued as part of weekly rest, something that was not allowed earlier. DGCA also gave IndiGo a one-time exemption till February 10 from pilot night duty rules. After the chaos, the rules were softened. But the bigger issue goes beyond the one airline. Indian aviation consumers today do not have the choices they had decades ago. Earlier, passengers had multiple airlines to choose from. Today, just 2 or 3 airlines control most of the market. IndiGo alone controls around 65% of India's aviation market, while Air India controls another 26%. This is no longer healthy competition. This is monopoly and duopoly. And when so much power is concentrated, any failure or pressure tactic by one company can shake the entire aviation industry. That's why this isn't just an airline issue. It's a consumer issue. Because when companies become too big to fall, rules can bend and the Indian consumer pays the price. Do you think this is fair for Indian passengers? Comment below.